At 92, Dorothy's home is a breath of fresh air, simple, peaceful, and filled only with the things that bring her joy. No overflowing closets, no stacks of unread mail, no stress over clutter, but it wasn't always this way. Years ago, she felt overwhelmed by stuff, items she thought she might need, papers she planned to sort someday, and a house full of things that only weighed her down. Then she made a change. She embraced minimalism, not just in her home but in her life. And what she discovered, less clutter meant more freedom, better health, and a clearer mind. 1. Shift your mindset. Minimalism isn't just about stuff. What if I told you that minimalism isn't about getting rid of things? It's about gaining more of what truly matters. More peace, more energy, more time for yourself. Yet, so many of us associate minimalism with empty rooms and extreme downsizing that couldn't be further from the truth. Take Helen, 78. She had always been a collector of books, of knickknacks, of memories tied to every little thing in her home. She thought she was keeping treasures, but over time, those treasures started to feel like burdens. Her closets overflowed, her drawers were stuffed, and the weight of too much left her feeling restless. One day, she had a realization. It wasn't just the clutter in her home, it was the clutter in her mind too. She was always overwhelmed, always feeling behind. That's when she decided to try something different. She started small, letting go of one thing every day, choosing simplicity over excess, and asking herself a powerful question before keeping anything. Does this add value to my life? Within months, something shifted, not just in her home, but in her spirit. Less clutter meant less stress. Less overwhelm meant more energy. She didn't feel deprived. She felt free. Minimalism is not about sacrifice. It's about choosing what serves you best. And once you embrace that, it's time to take action. The best place to start, one small step at a time. 2. Declutter one space at a time. Start small. Have you ever decided to clean out a closet, only to find yourself knee-deep in piles of stuff, exhausted before you even make a dent? Decluttering can feel overwhelming until you break it down. That's exactly what happened to Martha, 81. She had spent years accumulating things, gifts from loved ones, sentimental pieces, clothes she thought she might wear again. When she finally decided to declutter, she opened her bedroom closet and immediately felt defeated. There was too much. She shut the door, made a cup of tea, and thought, maybe another day. Then her friend gave her a simple piece of advice. Just start with one drawer, not the whole closet, not the entire house, one small space. Martha started with her nightstand. She pulled everything out, sorted through what she really needed, and put back only the essentials. The feeling was exhilarating. It was a small victory, but it gave her momentum. The next day, she tackled another small space. Before she knew it, her closet was manageable. Her drawers were organized, and for the first time in years, she felt in control of her space. Remember, decluttering isn't about doing everything at once. It's about building momentum. Every small step creates more space, more clarity, and more peace. And as you clear your physical space, you may start to notice something else. You're also clearing emotional space, which brings us to the next step, letting go of the just-in-case mentality. 3. Let go of just-in-case. Keep only what you use and love. How many things do you own just in case? A sweater you haven't worn in years, a stack of Tupperware lids that don't match, an extra set of dishes, just in case someone needs them. For years, Janet, 83, lived by the just-in-case rule. She had boxes in the garage filled with things she might need. One day, a kitchen overflowing with gadgets she never used, and a linen closet packed with towels she didn't even like. The thought of letting go made her anxious. What if she needed those things someday? But then something happened. She went to visit her sister, who had recently downsized into a smaller home. It was peaceful, simple, and calming. Janet asked her sister how she made the transition so smoothly. Her response, "I realized that the just-in-case things were stealing space from my right-now life." That stuck with Janet. She went home and started questioning everything she had been holding on to. Did she really need 4 winter coats when she lived in a warm climate? Did she need the wedding china that had been sitting untouched for 30 years? One by one, she let go of what didn't serve her daily life, and instead of feeling loss, she felt relief. Letting go of just in case doesn't mean losing security. It means gaining freedom from clutter, worry, and unnecessary baggage. And once you start clearing things out, you'll notice another wonderful benefit. You spend less time managing stuff and more time enjoying life. Next, we're moving into a part of minimalism that's often overlooked but makes a huge impact on daily life: your wardrobe, because simplifying what you wear can make every day easier, lighter, and more joyful. 4. Simplify your wardrobe. Comfort, ease, and style. Ever stood in front of a full closet and thought, "I have nothing to wear"? It's not that you don't have clothes, it's that you have too many choices, and many of them no longer fit your lifestyle, comfort, or even your personality. That's exactly how Margaret, 80, felt every morning. She had closets packed with dresses she hadn't worn in decades, blouses she no longer liked, and shoes that pinched her toes. Getting dressed felt more like a chore than a joy. She often ended up wearing the same 3 outfits because the rest of her wardrobe felt overwhelming. One afternoon, she decided to make a change. She pulled everything out of her closet and asked herself one simple question: do I love wearing this? If the answer wasn't a clear yes, she let it go. Gone were the uncomfortable shoes, the tight waistbands, and the outfits that made her feel anything but confident. What was she left with? A smaller, simpler wardrobe filled with clothes she actually loved. Getting dressed became effortless, and instead of feeling guilty about unworn clothes, she felt free. A simplified wardrobe doesn't mean boring. It means choosing what truly suits you and letting go of what doesn't. And once your closet is clear, you might feel inspired to simplify another space that affects your health daily: your kitchen. 5. Clear the kitchen. Healthy eating made simple. Have you ever opened your pantry only to find expired spices, 5 cans of the same soup, and stacks of kitchen gadgets you haven't touched in years? A cluttered kitchen makes cooking more complicated than it needs to be, and for many seniors, it becomes a barrier to eating healthy. That's what happened to Linda, 76. She loved cooking, but over the years her kitchen had become overwhelming. Too many mismatched storage containers, appliances she never used, and cabinets packed with food she forgot she had. Mealtime felt stressful instead of enjoyable. One day she decided to take control. She started with one drawer, tossing out expired spices, donating gadgets she never used, and organizing the essentials. Then she moved on to the pantry, keeping only what she regularly cooked with. By the time she finished, she had a kitchen that worked for her, not against her. A streamlined kitchen makes healthy eating easier, cooking more enjoyable, and life a little simpler. And just like physical clutter can pile up, so can digital clutter, and that's the next area to simplify for a clearer mind. 6. Digital declutter. Simplify your screens. Strengthen your mind. Remember when technology was supposed to make life easier? Instead, it often feels like an endless stream of emails, notifications, and screens pulling our attention in 100 directions. A cluttered digital life can be just as overwhelming as a cluttered home. That's what happened to Susan, 82. She loved staying connected, but over time, her phone became a source of stress. Unread emails stacked up, endless notifications distracted her, and she couldn't find important messages when she needed them. She felt mentally drained just from opening her phone. The result? Less stress, more clarity, and a feeling of control over her technology. A clear digital space means a clear mind, more focus, and less stress. And once you simplify your wardrobe, kitchen, and technology, you'll start noticing a new sense of calm and clarity in everyday life. Next, we're moving on to something that most people overlook, but makes a huge impact on both mental and physical health: streamlining paperwork and letting go of unnecessary commitments. 7. Streamline paperwork. Cut the clutter, keep the essentials. Have you ever sat down to pay a bill, only to find yourself lost in a sea of paperwork? Old statements, unread letters, receipts from years ago. Paper clutter sneaks up on us, piling higher until it feels impossible to tackle. That's exactly what happened to Elaine, 79. She had always kept every piece of paper just in case. But over time, her filing cabinet became so packed that she could never find what she actually needed. When she missed an important medical bill because it got buried under junk mail, she knew something had to change. By the end of the month, she had cleared out years of unnecessary paperwork, organized her important files, and set up a simple system to keep things that way. Now, instead of feeling buried by paper, she is exactly what she needs. Nothing more, nothing less. Want to declutter your paperwork? Start with one small pile. Don't aim to do it all in one day. Sort into categories. Keep, shred, recycle, digitize. Use a filing system that works for you, folders, binders, or a simple drawer. Go paperless, when possible. Sign up for electronic statements to cut down on future clutter. The result? Less stress, more space, and never again losing important documents. And once you declutter your paperwork, it's time to simplify something even more important: your commitments. 8. Minimize commitments. Say yes to what truly matters. Have you ever said yes to something out of guilt, then immediately regretted it? Many of us fill our schedules with obligations, leaving little time for the things we actually enjoy. That was exactly what happened to Patricia, 82. She had always been the dependable one, helping at church, babysitting for neighbors, attending every event she was invited to. But one day she realized something: she was constantly exhausted and barely had time for herself. She had a hard time saying no, but deep down she knew she was giving too much of her energy to things that didn't truly fulfill her. So she made a choice. She stopped saying yes out of obligation and started saying yes with intention. And guess what? She felt lighter, more in control, and happier. If you struggle with saying no, pause before committing. Ask yourself, is this something I truly want to do? Use kind but firm responses. I appreciate the invite, but I need to focus on my health right now. Make room for what matters. Fewer obligations equals more time for meaningful activities. Simplifying commitments doesn't mean doing less. It means doing more of what fulfills you. And once you free up time, you can create space for something truly life-changing: a peaceful home environment. 9. Create a peaceful, purposeful space. Your home, your sanctuary. Have you ever walked into a cluttered room and felt instantly overwhelmed? The state of your home affects the state of your mind. That's what Carol, 85, realized when she visited her friend's house one afternoon. Her friend's home was simple, cozy, and peaceful. Everything had its place, and there was no unnecessary clutter. Carol couldn't help but notice how calm she felt just being in the space. When she got home, she saw her own house with fresh eyes. Too many knickknacks, crowded shelves, furniture she didn't even use. It wasn't just visual clutter, it was mental clutter. She decided then and there to turn her home into a peaceful, intentional space. Within days she felt lighter, more relaxed, and more at home than ever before. A peaceful home isn't about perfection, it's about creating a space where you feel truly comfortable and at ease. Now that you've simplified your commitments, decluttered your home, and organized your paperwork, what's next? It's time to embrace the most rewarding part of minimalism: letting go of things and focusing on experiences. 10. Prioritize experiences over things. The true gift of minimalism. Have you ever looked around your home and realized that some of your most treasured memories aren't attached to objects but to moments? A family dinner full of laughter, a spontaneous road trip, a quiet morning with a cup of tea, and a good book. That's exactly what happened to Evelyn, 83. She had spent years collecting souvenirs, trinkets, and gifts from loved ones. But one day, as she was dusting her shelves, she realized something. She wasn't truly enjoying any of these items. They just sat there, needing maintenance, while her most meaningful memories lived in her heart. So she made a decision. She would focus on creating more memories, not accumulating more things. Instead of buying something new, she treated herself to an experience. She took a painting class. She started prioritizing outings with friends over shopping trips. And suddenly she felt more alive, more engaged, more fulfilled. When you prioritize living over collecting, you'll find that your life feels lighter, richer, and infinitely more joyful. And with this shift in mindset, it's also time to embrace simplicity in another vital area. Your daily routine, less clutter, more freedom. That's the beauty of minimalism. By simplifying your space, routine, and mindset, you're making room for what truly matters: joy, health, and peace. Now, I want to hear from you. What's the first thing you're decluttering? Drop a comment, share this with a friend, and hit subscribe for more ways to thrive at any age. And next time, we're diving into a habit that can add years to your life. You won't want to miss it.